Hi parents and welcome. My name is Mrs. St. John and I have the privilege of teaching 4th and 5th grade language arts and 4th grade religion. Holy Trinity has a special place in the heart of my family. It's our home parish and both of my girls have went to Holy Trinity as well. I can't think of a place that I'd rather be than here with your student and engaging them in all the amazing activities that we will explore this year. I look forward to seeing you all very soon. Language arts consists of two components, reading and English. The first topic that we're going to address is reading. For the most part, what you'll see is we will use our reading textbooks so that we can work on building those foundational skills that aid in comprehension. So you may see us working on story plot maps, character traits, theme, and building those connections between texts. Then we'll take those skills that we've already worked on together as a group and we'll use those again with our class novels, and then we'll use them also as we work independently on book reports or other reading related projects. In addition to those resources, we will also use the Achieve program. Achieve is mainly geared towards informational text, and it allows those students the ability to develop those skills with a reading passage that's specifically geared to their level, which is a fantastic program. And it's a great developmental program for the students to gain success and be able to grow in such a dramatic way. So those are the main programs that we'll be using during the reading portion of our year. We do have other supplemental materials that we use, and I'll touch on those in a little bit. The second area of language arts consists of English, which takes into account grammar rules, parts of speech, and writing. For English, we'll focus on using our textbooks to reinforce those foundational skills and build on the grammar rules, the mechanics, using those punctuation marks, and then developing strong word choice to use all of those to develop our writing skills. In terms of writing, what we use in 4th grade and in 5th grade is the 4-square model. The 4-square model helps guide our organizational structure for our writing. It consists of an intro sentence, supporting details, and a closing sentence. We'll work on that foundation and master it for 4th grade, and then as we go into 5th grade, what we do is take our original model and we enhance it. So we use figurative language, we use the strategy of creating hooks, and we take our supporting sentences and we add additional detail to them. So what was a sound paragraph is now that much more engaging for a reader. So that's how the writing process develops, and by using that 4-square, we develop also that organizational way of thinking, so the structure becomes second nature to the student. So as you can see, there's a lot of components involved in language arts, so you can expect to see daily homework either in terms of reading or English. And then remember, sometimes there's outside writing projects and book report projects that would have extended due dates as well. In addition, not only do we use our textbooks, as I had mentioned, but we do have access in the Holy Trinity community to so many other great resources such as IXL, MobyMax, Brain Pop, Socrative, Kahoot, and the list goes on and on. So many times you'll see your students engaged in those other activities, helping them build on those strong skills that we've covered in class. 4th grade religion. Religion is apparent in every moment of a student's life at Holy Trinity. We begin each day with prayer, and we start each class with prayer as well. As far as 4th grade is concerned, students have a focus of the 10 Commandments and the Beatitudes. So not only will we be learning the history of these events and their importance, but we'll also, more importantly, be learning how to apply these ideals into not only our lives, but to those around us and to the community as a whole. Our focus is to continue to use our strong faith foundation and use it to help us shape our character so that we can always be active members in our community, active members of our faith, and be role models for others, just like the saints are role models for us. In 4th and 5th grade, all specials use a block schedule format, which basically means that your student will have whatever special they're engaged in for the entire week. So as the 6-week quarter goes by, you're going to see those specials rotate in. So I have had gym for a full week, then the following week I'll move on to art, then the following week I'll move on to Spanish. And that schedule for each special would be posted as a reminder in your child's homeroom class.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mrs. Gorentz. I teach science and health to both 4th and 5th graders. I also teach religion and vocabulary to my 5B homeroom. I would like to talk a little bit about 5th grade religion now. Throughout the year, our 5th graders are going to study and understand how they are part of a worshiping community. That simply means that even at their young age, students will realize that they are able to become active members of their church. We will continue to further study the sacraments and how they also will bring us closer to God. Lastly, we will look up, read, and discuss Scripture. It's important to be able to look up and read and understand Scripture because it is God's Word. Our textbook is called Blessed Are We, and they have a great online resource called blessedarewe.com. The online resource contains review games, interactive chapter reviews, as well as connections for the family. One of the family connections is the take-home page that is found at the beginning of every chapter. It has readings and activities that can be done with the family to enhance the chapter. It can be found under the tab called Grade Organizer. All you need to do is pick the chapter your student is currently working on, scroll down to the downloads, and click on the highlighted link called Family Time. It is a great opportunity to work on the home pages together to make the connection of what they're learning at school and enforcing at home. This online resource is also available for the 4th graders. Fourth and 5th grade science. Our textbook is called Interactive Science. It is a paperback book that has activities and questions that the students are able to answer right in the book as we are learning about that information. Students will also receive access to an electronic copy of their textbook once the school year begins. Students will have 3 quarters of science and 1 quarter of health. Quarters 1, 2, and 4 are dedicated to science. Health will be taught during the 3rd quarter only. Both 4th and 5th graders will be studying the following topics: life science, which would consist of cells, kingdoms, life cycles, ecosystems, and biomes. They will also learn about earth and space science, which would consist of rock types, fossils, landforms, weather, and space. They will also learn about physical science, which would include matter, physical changes, chemical changes, forces, and energy. Often, 4th grade is an introduction to the topic, and 5th graders will review that information and learn additional facts. Science class will contain lectures and class discussions, demonstrations and labs, outlining or note-taking so that we're able to understand and decode informational textbooks, STEM activities, written assignments, as well as Achieve. And when allowed, we will have guest speakers. I like to do lots of hands-on activities to have the students engaged and have a true understanding of the material covered in class. Homework. It is our expectation that 4th and 5th grade students will have nightly homework assignments. Assignments are intended to build upon and reinforce what the student has learned in class that day. Fourth grade students will not have nightly science or social studies homework, although students may on occasion need to study at home to prepare for a quiz or an upcoming test. If you have any questions or concerns regarding a homework assignment, please contact the specific teacher through email. We ask that you please stop your child and let us know if an assignment was taking too long to complete. We don't want a child getting frustrated over their homework assignments. We also understand that life happens. If there was a problem or a reason that homework could not be completed, please let us know once again with a written note or an email message. Students will be given extra time to complete the assignment without penalty when a note has been provided. During class, when the teacher is assigning and explaining the homework assignments. It is important to note that each teacher will fill out and enter their own homework assignments. Please note that if a teacher is absent from school, they may not enter assignments on the homework board that day, even though there may have been homework assigned. We do our best to monitor and encourage the students to keep their agendas up to date. If you notice that your student's agenda is empty, please encourage them to get into the habit of filling it out every day. It would also be helpful if you dropped us a line letting us know to pay extra attention to that particular agenda. Thank you for your support.
Hello, 4th grade and 5th grade parents and students. I hope you're doing well. My name is Amy Akesi, and I teach 4th grade homeroom and 4th and 5th grade social studies and 4th grade vocabulary. I've been teaching at Holy Trinity for 13 years, and I have my master's in reading specialization. First, I'm going to go ahead and talk to you about the diocesan curriculum learning standards that are aligned with the Ohio Learning Standards. Students will focus on history timelines this year, how to interpret timelines, world geography, studies of the Western Hemisphere, diversity culture, Mayan civilizations, Aztec civilizations, South American studies, U.S. government, Canadian government, economics, and United States citizenship. Latitude and longitude direction, researching a famous Ohioan or a famous South American, and be able to identify and strengthen note-taking, organization, interactive note study strategies, and create timelines through Storyboard Online that program. We will also use the Kids Discover program to read about historical events. Learning activities and interactive tools that I use with students include Kids Discover, Storyboard That, Jamboard, historical speakers we will have online, visit the classroom, simulation learning individually, and project-based learning. Students will also identify civic and economic activities. Students will compare and contrast artifacts from past period times. Social studies homework will be given weekly, typically a couple times a week, 3 to 4 times. Students will be given time always to at first begin homework for social studies. Tests will be announced a week ahead of time. There will always be a study guide for a test. Make sure you have an organized binder with your interactive notes. This will help you prepare for quizzes and tests. There will also be frequent binder checks for completion points. For 4th grade vocabulary, students will be using the Sadler Oxford curriculum and workbook. This is a program to develop mastery of vocabulary, and especially figures of speech and figurative language. Prefixes and suffixes will also be reinforced with informational text skills. These are resources needed for more effective communication skills. Word work daily with vocabulary games on the Sadler Oxford website, and spelling and meaning tests will be given on the same day once a week. Kahoot and quizzes games will also be practiced in class. At Holy Trinity School, we reinforce the PBIS, the Positive Behavior Intervention Support System. We have SOAR expectations for our Eagles. The SOAR acronym stands for S, safety, O, on task, A, academic excellence, and R, respect and responsibility. This equals the Holy Trinity student that will soar like an eagle. Students will then earn Eagle Bucks that they can purchase items individually at the school store. The Eagle Bucks will be kept track on the Class Dojo system. Again, students can earn Eagle Bucks through being respectful, showing Christ-like behavior, being a kind friend to others, and being responsible. Please do not contact teachers through Class Dojo. Please use teachers' official school emails for contacts and questions. We also would like to reinforce that restorative discipline enables building healthy relationships between teachers and students, discusses the needs of students and restorative behavior, and reinforces positive relationships with students.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Wild. I've been teaching in Holy Trinity for 12 years. I teach math to grades 4 and 5, and I teach religion to my 5th grade homeroom. For grades 4 and 5, we focus on the diocesan curriculum, which is based on the Ohio Learning Standards. The topics that we study include number sense, measurement, geometry, and operations with whole numbers, including decimals and fractions. We learn about many of the same topics in 5th grade, but we learn them in more depth in 5th grade. I will give a standard sheet to each student at the beginning of each unit, so they have that for reference. In grades 4 and 5, we also focus on fluency of basic facts and computation. There are many parts to a typical math class. Each class includes problem solving and critical thinking. The first part of class, we spend time checking and talking about homework. We do this because I believe that students learn from their mistakes. Then I take time to check in with each of the students. While I do this, the students are working during the first quarter on computation and basic facts, and during quarters after that, they work on spiral reviews or some problem solving. During lessons, we take notes or we work with activities to help us understand a concept. There's usually practice time built into each lesson as well, where students can work with computers or with manipulatives to help them understand new concepts. We also like to use games at certain times. I encourage the students to use math vocabulary when they're reading and writing and talking about math with other students. We also take time to review what we've been learning that day and on previous days to help make connections between different concepts. So most math classes have a lot of different parts to them, and the students usually enjoy doing them. There are a few materials that will help students be successful in math class. First is the binder. Many students do get a purple binder so that they can start learning to organize their subjects by color. In the binder, there should be 5 tabs. I will help the students label these tabs in class. Some students like to have a 3-ring pencil pouch in their notebook as well, so that they can keep their pencils, dry erase marker, and red pen to grade their work. There will be math homework most nights. Students learn from getting practice on the concepts that they're learning during the day. The assignments will vary depending on the concepts that we're learning. There might be a worksheet, or there might be a Google Doc, or there could be a Google form in the Google Classroom for students to complete. Sometimes they'll have an online assignment using a program such as quizzes. One of my favorite resources is using IXL.com. IXL has skills that the students practice until they reach a particular SMART score. I will announce tests for class at least a week in advance. Grading in math class. I believe homework is when students practice what they are learning. Therefore, homework is mostly completion points. Occasionally a grade will be taken, but students will know when that's going to happen. I do also reduce credit if it's not done on time for class. I mentioned that we do spiral reviews, computation practice, and problem-solving activities. These too are completion points with a periodic graded assignment. If I notice that a student has had a lot of trouble on a homework, I will ask them to redo that homework. And they have a couple days then to redo that assignment, and they will still get full credit for the work. Other items that students receive grades for include periodic binder checks, real-world math assignments, and unit tests. For vocabulary in 5th grade, we use an online program called Membing. The program provides a variety of instructional techniques used in context so that students can learn the new vocabulary words from them. They do things like reading a paragraph that they also can listen to. They watch a short video using a word context, or they have diagrams that help students relate the word to other words that they know. Each lesson is personalized for the individual student. The first time a student logs in, they take a level set that calibrates the set of words that they will start studying. Students are assigned training time during the week, usually 3 15-minute sessions. Learning takes place during quality time spent on customized computer lessons for them. We encourage you to sit down and get familiar with the program with your student, but don't train for them. He or she might receive new words that they would be tested on that they don't know then because they are the ones that were not doing the training. Once the students become familiar with the program, they will take online weekly tests. I wanted to take a minute to talk to you about 4th grade expectations. As the 4 teachers on the intermediate team understand, this is a year of transitions. You as parents also need to expect adjustments to students with their organization and the responsibility that they will have for their schoolwork. Having 4 different teachers with 4 different classroom routines takes an adjustment period for the students. They will also be having English, science, and social studies every day, which they did not have in 3rd grade. They will also become more familiar with Google Classroom and with different learning tools. We encourage you to check your students' grades on GradeLink, and many people do have the app on their phone, which gives a very quick snapshot of what's happening, but we encourage you to log in on the computer as well, because we often include comments with students' grades that would be helpful information for you. Mrs. Agassi, Mrs. Gorns, Mrs. St. John, and I are truly excited to be working again with the students very soon. We here at Holy Trinity are a family, and we've missed you, and we're looking forward to getting started again. You can see the email and the Twitter accounts, and we encourage you to please get in touch with us if you have any questions or any concerns throughout the year. Thank you.